We're going to get started a little bit early today because our speaker has got to go first and he's got to leave a little early today, so we're going to get started a little early. Let me call on Billy Epps, who's here for his first time this year for our opening prayer. Billy.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the many blessings that you have bestowed on all of us. And we thank you for this organization and all the young men and athletes in Anderson County in which it honors. We ask that you look after them as they proceed to play their games tonight and throughout the weekend. We also ask you to bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies and us to thy service, and make us ever mindful of the needs of others. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Billy. Stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated. Our former President Bill Brissy, son-in-law, had an injury and had to have surgery the other day, and he's got what did I say? I said that to see if you were paying attention. His grandson, that's right, his grandson had surgery, and he's got a card he wants everybody to sign. We're going to pass it around.
He's a player at Westside.
Yeah, he's a player at Westside, and he's doing fine, but he's a wide receiver there at Westside. Let's pass this around. Greg, how about passing that around and getting started? We want to thank Greg Wilson, by the way. He does the streaming of our meetings every week and does a great job. You can go to our Anderson Area Touchdown Club Facebook page to watch it, or on YouTube later. He edits it on YouTube, of course, because he said he had about 1,100 or 1,200 people watch it all together last week. So we have a good number of folks that watch it. So, all right, now, we switched things around this week so our speaker could get in and out. I've been trying to get this speaker for about 2 years now. We lucked out and got him this week. This is Riley Johnson. He's the event coordinator for the city of Seneca. He's a referee. If you watched the Clemson game last week or were there in person, he was a referee for the Clemson game. He's been 10 years of high school officiating, starting in 1992 to 2001. He was Southern Conference from 2002 to 2009. He's done 5 FCS playoff games. He was with the Sun Belt Conference from 2010 to 2012, and he's been with the ACC from 2013 till now. He's worked the following bowl games: the Military Bowl in 2011, Sugar Bowl 2013 and 15, Liberty Bowl 2014, Army-Navy game 2014, Cotton Bowl 2016, Rose Bowl 2017, Citrus Bowl 2018, ACC Championship game 2019. He's done arena football for 20 years. He's worked the following 10 AFL playoff games, 7 AFL semifinals, the arena football 2008 and 2019. He is married to Carol, his wife. He has a daughter named London. Come forward, Riley Johnson.
We overtime, so we work it and focus on it throughout every play. But basically my week starts on Sunday. When I get back home from the game, we do a report. We have to fill out a report on all the fouls we call, all the fouls we didn't call, and then some of the ones are a little suspect you may want to take a look at. Something that's maybe happened outside the field. So we do that on Sunday. Monday is film day. We get films on every play. The ACC conference, we average about 180 plays a game, and every play is graded. You're graded by your position, you're graded by your mechanics, you're graded as a referee. I'm graded by my announcements. So I have to relate what just happened on the field. So we're graded on that, and the films start on Monday. Tuesday is when the grades start coming out. Everybody asks me, hey, how was your game last week? I said, I'll tell you Wednesday. So it takes that long to get the grades out. But We work on film during the night, and we email back and forth throughout the crew. On Wednesday, we start preparing for the next week. And we also, you probably heard on the news, Trevor Lawrence tested positive for COVID-19. I hung out with Trevor all weekend, so all day. I tested yesterday, I'm negative, so that was good news. I was a little worried when I heard that, but the ACC officials are tested every week. We're tested on Wednesday of every week, and then we're tested on Saturday. So we have to pass the same kind of test that these guys are doing. So, and then Thursdays are our kind of get-together day, and then Friday we travel, work the game Saturday, and we start basically all over again on Sunday. So it's a pretty full-time job. So I love it. I've been doing it, like George said, for a while now. I feel like, to me, it's my calling. Everybody's got a calling in life. My faith in football has taken me a long way. You young men, you players, I played for Tom Bass at Seneca High School. A lot of people know Tom Bass. He was a great coach. We spent a lot of good times. These Friday nights, you guys are playing together. Some of you guys here today, this is memories that you'll remember forever. I've been blessed. I've been blessed to work a lot of bowl games, but there's nothing like Friday nights. You remember those Friday nights when you're in the trenches with your partners and you grew up together and you just worked really good together. And it's memories and friendships that'll last forever. So no matter where your career goes, whatever level, Power 5, whatever, NFL, you'll always remember the Friday night game. So I'm just glad to be here to talk to you. But remember, enjoy the moment. You blink, then you're like me. You're sitting up here in front of some high school kids, young men that you think, wow, it wasn't long ago I was sitting in that same position. But enjoy every moment. You're here for a reason, and a lot of you guys are very talented and won some great honors. It's great to be here. Well, what I like to do, because I feel like officiating is real easy. You watch it on your couch, and you can see all the plays. So I always like to put up plays and get some input from the audience. So this is a game we had. I don't know how many saw this game here, Wake Forest and Clemson. It was their opening game this year. So no fans in the stands, so that was kind of unique. This is a different season. I don't know how the high schools are doing it, but at that game we had 900 people in the stands. So you see a long run, it's total silence, something you got to get used to. But this is a play. I like to do this and get some comments from the audience, and you guys, if you got questions, I'll answer those in just a few minutes. But here's a play that we had, and I want you to watch it. And if you see it, this is a catch on the sideline where we ruled catch and fumble. See what you think. Let's see. Let's see. I'll go back to it. Did you say on this? Maybe not. All right. So when we get together like this, we're basically talking to each other. What do you got? What does this look like? Is this a catch? Is this a catch and a fumble? No. Did he maintain possession long enough?
No.
You guys are good. Did he make a football move? Is that a catch? Did he tuck it away? One thing about these, and just remember this, that when we review these plays, you can't watch them in slow motion. They always catch and no catch. They always rule that in full speed. So kind of just give you an idea. You probably saw it. That's Bill Lamagnier there. He's the rules guru. But to answer your question, that is an incomplete pass. But it's just, I kind of like to talk about, we get so many questions, what's a catch? And if you listen to the talking heads, well, it changes. You got to have possession in your hands. You can't trap it between your legs. But you got to have possession, and there has to be an element of time. You have to take that, and then you have to be able to do a football move. So what we try to do is rule bang, bang, incomplete, and go from there. Well, that was an incomplete pass, so you guys got it right. All right, next play. Let's see. Here's an interesting play. Let's get to that. Here's one that happened last week. This was a pretty big game. You look at the score. A friend of mine's working this game, but things happen. Auburn 27, Ole Miss 28. 5 minutes to go. Watch the play. And what we're always back here doing, what ifs. All right, he got a kickoff, if everybody can see it. All right, did he touch it?
Yeah.
So the ruling on the field that the receiver back there never touched it. So if you have an untouched ball, and what Mark Turles is saying here is, if you have an untouched ball that hits in the end zone, the ball's dead. Now we get the advantages of watching replay. So, and this is a play that all around the country this weekend they're watching this play. Did he touch it? No. There's some different angles. Watch his fingers. Did he touch it with his right hand? So is it touched? So we got to make that. And we don't have this. We got to rule instantly. Let's see. There's some more views on here. You can see. And they slow it down.
Why didn't they review that?
That is a great question. That's why it's talked about this week in our play. See, okay, if he touched it, Ole Miss just scores a point or scores 6 points. Big play of the game. Yes, it was, and he fined $25,000. So that was a big turning point in the game. But mechanically, it's something now. As we talk about films throughout the week, we get this. They sent this to us, and there is a good view on here. Let's see, I don't know if it's this view or not. All these camera angles, that's not really good. But, they'll send plays. Let's see. I think this is, if you can slow it down. But this is something every crew in America is probably looking at this weekend. If he touched it, they recover it. It's touchdown Ole Miss, but they said he didn't touch it, and they didn't review it. Here's every game is a learning point. I don't know if you noticed, but Mark has let's see if you can see it. He has an instrument in his ear. We call it O2O. If you see microphones, you'll watch it from now on when I tell you about it. You'll see an O2O, that's officials to officials. So we can talk to each other, plus we can talk to replay. And we don't have to stop the game. But going forward, if this happens this Saturday, they will put that play under further review. Basically what happened, the replay official said it didn't touch. He didn't touch it. So they told the coaches, Coach, they looked at it, they didn't touch it, we're going with a touchback. So, with that being said, what we do this week is, after something like that happens, we put it under review. It's just cosmetically the best thing to do, because that way both coaches know that we're looking at it. So that's one of the things this week. If you see anything that happens kind of funky on Saturday, those officials will put it under further review. So that's one of the things. And one of the neat things about O2O, not only do I talk to the replay officials upstairs, we have what they call a command center at Greensboro in the ACC. And they have about 20-something TVs. They've got interns sitting around watching every game, and we talk to them. They have somebody there talking to replay. So not only is replay looking at this here, they're looking at it in Greensboro. So we get the confirmations from Greensboro. We've actually had a play last year where our local replay officials wanted to rule it a certain way, but Greensboro trumped them. They said, no, here's what we're going to do. So it's never over. We're talking to a lot of people up here. How many's good at calling targeting? You ever seen targeting? That's one of the things that in the game, that's one thing we're trying to get out of the game. The lowering of the head, the using the crown of the helmets. I hope they're coaching you guys to tackle without using your head. We still have that. Here's a play that happened last week. Just tell me what you think about this play. Targeting. This is a play, I'm showing y'all a bunch of good plays, because this is a place that proves, this is pregame. I'm basically giving you a pregame on this speech thing. What do you think? Outside, you're ruling? Is that targeting? All right, we're trained to throw. We're trained to throw. Helmet to helmet. Right. We're trained to throw if we see that. And we let replay take us off of it. Replay took this foul off. They said this was not a targeting foul. So,
Because he was lower.
you got me. See, I see targeting, but one of the rule changes this year, it looks like he lowers his head and uses the crown of the helmet. Now, the crown of the helmet is 360 degrees all the way around. If you use that as a weapon, it looks the lowering of the head, an indicator, boom. That to me should be a target. You young guys, keep this back. Don't hit that. Because it will hurt you as bad as that guy.
Wow, what is the responsibility of the offensive player over his helmet?
Well, if it's two Rams, it's different. That's football. We have a play, and we had a play earlier this year where the running back actually caught the pass, and he was running upfield, had a defensive back waiting on him in good position, make the tackle, and he lowered his head, and he stuck his crown of the helmet into the chest of the defensive back, targeting. And that was a foul. If you use that for a weapon, a lot of times when they lower their heads, it's two Rams hitting. Yes, sir.
He kind of moved. He lowered his head. The receiver lowered his head.
Yeah. That I think should have been targeted. So.
Well, he lowered his head though right before.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's a play. Here's something that we get to practice on a lot. Watch this play here. This is just a punt play, right? Fair catch. What you got? You got it bouncing around. What happens? Got a scramble. What do you got? Going that way? What do you think? What do you think? Did you hit? Touched. Whose ball? Whose ball? Red ball? Red ball? He's out of bounds. Had a foot out of bounds. So that's some of the stuff we have to talk about. Okay, is he out of bounds? So you come back in and establish. So he's still out of bounds. Still out of bounds. All right. This is basically a kick out of bounds. This was no foul, except basically his foot was out of bounds, so when he touched it, the ball was out of bounds. So we put the ball back at that spot. And some of the stuff we have to watch for. A fair catch signal. Was he impeded? I mean, all this is, and I'll tell you this, the most exciting plays and the ones we get in trouble the most are kicking plays, because they're going 100 miles an hour, and these are some other plays here. But just some of the stuff you have to watch for, and when you have 8 guys out there, everybody is looking at something different. Looks like was he down? No. He's fumbled? Is he down at all? See, right, ball's out, good ruling. Fumble. And that's another thing we always, the kind of the secrets of the trade is, when in doubt, fumble or no fumble, you can call fumble and let replay fix it. Now, one of the advantages of replay here, that's called an embedded clock. So they can put time back up on the game if they ever end it, and the time runs out. We had a play last week at Clemson where we kicked a field goal, and when the ball hit the net, there was 3 seconds left up on the game clock. Well, the PA announcer yells, and that's the end of the first half. So everybody's running to the locker room, then I have to announce, no, the half's not over. So we got with Dino Babers, and he said, I'm good. I don't want it. I'm out. So that's one of the things.
Could that play not be called a targeting play? Look how you hit him in the head.
Which one? That one?
Yeah, the fumble.
Oh, no.
Huh? He hit him directly on the head.
Just football.
Yeah. All right, but that wasn't targeting on that previous play. I think the one before that was targeting. Just some notes here on a kickoff, of what we can do. Here's something funky. You never know. Is that when the ball bounces high, directly off the tee, he's got to be, it's like a fair catch. And if it dribbles, you can hit him. That's a fair catch. He's got to have an opportunity to catch the ball. Just some stuff like that. But they were right there. And they looked at targeting on this play. But that's just basically kick, catch, and interference. Now, if he kicks it, the scribbler, they can blow him up, except they can't use that. Here's a play that created a lot. Let's see. Helmet off. You see this all the time. Players got to go out. It's in college. You can use a timeout to get him back in. You can't use a timeout to get an injury back in, but nothing there. His helmet come off. He's got to go out and play. It might be a star player, but you can use a timeout to get him back in. Here's a play that created a lot of controversy last week. Y'all might have seen it. Let me see if I can slide it out. Let's see here. Yeah. What do you think? Everybody see that? Was that down? Did it? Now, the next play here, I think I don't know if this is the one. No, it's still the same play. But it's coming up. Okay, here we go. Big time in the game. What do you think? The official's right where he needs to be. What do you think? Touchdown? What do you think? Did the tip of the ball break the plane? Watch the tip of the ball. Yeah. A lot of people, remember the goal line is a piece of glass. Did the tip of the ball break the glass? It doesn't have to, some people say, well, he went over the goal line. It don't even have to go over the goal line. It just has to break that glass. That's what we always talk about. Did it break it? Yeah. So a lot of people thought that was short. But I wanted to put it on here because that was a great call. That was a super call because a lot of people, well, he didn't cross the goal line, he hit the pylon. Basically, it's a piece of glass and he broke it.
Open effort.
Right. And if you don't have indisputable video evidence, it's called IBE in this league. If you don't, yeah. So that was one that created a lot of controversy. Let's see here.
Right.
Let's see here. Let's see. All right. And of course, any questions on this place? You got it.
I got two questions. When you're talking about the ball that has to be in their hands, what about if he's got one hand on the ball and press it against his leg and
And completes the catch?
Yeah.
As long as his hand is there.
Okay.
But you've seen the play where the legs, you seem like they trap it between their knees?
Yes.
It's incomplete.
And then y'all change positions on the field, or any? Does all the referees have to know every position? In other words?
Yes. We as a referee, I have to know how to work a center judge, an umpire, a linesman, line judge, side judge, field judge, and back judge.
And what do you do if one of your referees gets hurt? You always have a backup?
Well, in our conference, we don't. In the SEC, the Big Ten, they have an official that works as an alternate. So with us, it's just, you just move positions. We got 8 guys, and I've worked games with 5 people. So, and in high school, we have, do you guys have like 5? I don't know, 5, y'all still have 5?
That's 4 to me.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, we just move around, so stuff like that. But it's good to see different scenery. We have guys that move positions each year. Someone may want to go line of scrimmage, and they just talk about it. So, but yeah. Let's see here. And of course, when you do really good, let's see if I can get this playing. When you do really good, that's how they treat you as you're leaving. That's our crew. Y'all remember the North Carolina State game about 3 years ago, where they came down to like the last play or whatever? That was them giving us a, hey, good job, guys. Y'all gave us a great game. We appreciate you all. Yeah, we all do. But yeah, that's kind of like it in a nutshell that we do. And I always like to do this. A lot of times people they ask me, what do you talk about? What do you talk about at the opening coin toss? They see us out there. So I'm gonna get some people up here. You ever wondered about that? I mean, you see them go out there, and what are they talking about down on the middle of the field? Well, basically, we bring the captains out. A lot of times, we ask the coaches, if you win the toss, what do you want to do? Do you want to defer, or do you want to receive? We've actually had captains say, I want to kick off. You don't want to do that. So we try to help them through this, and we've got a coin that I'm going to leave with George. I'll put it in a raffle, however you want to do it. But this is a coin that we use I use it for every game, and you can kind of look at it if you want to. But basically, we've got some very smart athletes in the ACC. But I like to dumb it down as much as I can. The logo, you can pass it around and look at it. The logo is a helmet. His head's pretty obvious. But tails is tails. What do you think? Is that obvious?
That's tail.
That's tails. It's basically a guy bending over, snapping the ball. So that is tails. They're a little nervous out there. And I don't want them to get too nervous. But that's heads on one side and tails on the other side. So that's the coin that we use, and it kind of makes them laugh a little bit when I show it to them, or before the kickoff. So, but that's pretty much what I do. And again, like I said, you young athletes, enjoy your time. Best of luck to you in your future, and remember the high school days. And if you love football, it'll take you a long ways. And I tell everybody, like I said at the beginning, this is kind of like, and I tell people when I speak, this is kind of like my ministry. When I speak to people, because a lot of times people don't want to hear about God, but they'll talk to me about football, and that's the way I've used it. And I've always done that. I've been very blessed, unbelievable. My family's been places I never would have been, but I continue to do that. So keep your faith, pray hard, keep working hard, and you guys will have a good season. Any questions? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where you had to lock yourself in a room to
Well,
leave?
Have I ever had what?
A situation where you had to lock yourself into a room to leave after the game was over. A real controversial call.
I got in a van very quickly. Okay, when we were leaving this game, this North Carolina State game, true story. I'm getting in the gate. I'm getting in the van. There's a guy from me to this young lady right here. There's a gate here. And I'm taking my microphone off because I have to wear a microphone to talk, penalties and everything. He's on a walker, and he told me what he wanted to do to me. I had to laugh. I said, I know you're upset, but he was going to beat me and my family. He was going to track me down, and he was going to hit me with his walker. So that was one of the times I thought, well, I probably need to lock myself in this van. Kind of chuckled a little bit, but he Saturday afternoons, you guys, you Clemson fans, you love your college, you love your team, and that was a big ending, so it didn't come out the way they wanted it to. So, yes, sir.
The targeting call is, I guess, always on the defensive player. My question,
Not always.
Well, that's part of my question.
have you seen it, and I've said before, it's just a matter of time before Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields throws an interception and goes back to tackle and gets called for targeting and is ejected for a game or the half of the next game. Have you seen that happen?
No, no.
But it's possible that could happen, right?
Exactly. If he uses his helmet as a weapon, he could technically do
They're
that.
not trained. I mean, I guess.
No, and it's the fundamentals. It's got to start early. We're trying to get that out of the game, and that's why targeting is just, you see it so much. In some plays you see, and you think, wow, that's not target. That's incidental contact. But when you lower your helmet, that's an indicator. Any crown force, you're gone. And one of the rule changes this year, you're disqualified, but you're not ejected. So we got that rule changed because when you would eject it, it was like the walk of shame. You have to walk to your tunnel. Here, the player can be on the sideline for the remainder of the game. If you're ejected, you got to leave, like if you're fighting or anything like that, if you're ejected from the ball game. So, but as a referee, when there is an interception, my focus is on the quarterback. I don't try to get to the goal line. I don't try to do any of that. I just make sure that nobody blows him up. Blindside blocks. Remember the old blindside blocks in high school? I was a kicker. I was a punter or something. I didn't see that big lineman not looking. I'd come and fire into him. Well, that's a foul now. So we're trying to get that play out of the game. But we still have hard hits. That's one of the things. You still have the big shots where the shoulder. So we still have the big NASCAR wreck. But we're just trying to make it safer for these young men so they're not, paralyzed or anything like that. But still, you'll see a targeting foul this week. It happens every game. So we're hoping the coaches will coach them to form tackle and all that good stuff. So, yes, sir.
I've noticed an increase in the antics of players, speaking of college football, the spiking of the ball, more of the make a catch in the middle of the field and take a stint, and the official has to run over there and grab it. I've seen a lot of that, even taunting or waving bye-bye to the to the offensive players after someone's intercepted and going on away. Have they changed that rule, or have y'all been asked not to enforce it?
No, it's funny you bring that up because that's the point of emphasis this year. So it's a point of emphasis.
Yeah.
So if I think Trevor a couple of weeks ago spiked the ball, foul. Yeah, foul. If you point, foul. And that can bring a touchdown back. The new rule is if you're at the 5-yard line and start strutting, or you point back at the 5, the penalty is from the 5-yard line back. So you don't get the score like in the old days. You used to, your touchdown, take the 15-yard penalty, carry it over. But now we're trying to get the kicking, where they get mad and kick the ball, foul. Spiking the ball, foul. Taunting, we're trying to get that. That was the point of emphasis in the ACC this year. Get that out of our league. So now other leagues, they may do it, but to answer your question.
It seems to have increased a lot.
Yeah.
And I can't remember whether the ACC games have been included where I've seen so much of it.
Kind of put it back in your mind and watch it from now on. Because we get downgraded on every time we miss something. That's how we have bowl games. That's how we get selected to work stuff. You got to have, the least downgrades. And every play's graded. So we don't want to miss it. Yes, sir.
Several years ago, it was Military Appreciation Day at Clemson.
Yes, sir.
The player scored a touchdown, and all the military people down in the end zone, and he saluted them. You got 15
That was a few years back.
Yeah.
That was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, don't do that. Don't call that. That was one. It's one of those that you probably shouldn't have been.
Pass interference, pass play, how much infighting is allowed?
Hand fighting is okay because a lot of defensive backs now are they're pressing, and that's they're making us make a call. But as long as they're hand fighting and there's no grabbing or anything like that, I got in a discussion with Sparky Woods up at North Carolina because we had a play. We had the game last year, North Carolina and Clemson up there. And if you remember much about the game, it was pretty tight, and it came down to a 2-point play at the end. But we had pass interference calls in the game, and he didn't like it, and he wanted to explain, what's hand fighting? And we tried to explain, as long as it's just two guys feeling each other going down the field, we just stay away from that. But if there's impediment, like he grabs his shirt, takes a step away, grabs an arm, you never have a receiver with one arm reception. That's an indicator. So Sparky was very adamant about he didn't like the hand fighting, and he illustrated a different way. I think his words was, Riley, let me ask you something. So what if I'm at a restaurant and I grab your wife's butt and you knock him away? Is that hand fighting? I said, no, but if she grabs yours, what we got? He said, good point. But it is, we try to stay out of it. So anyway.
Right. Question. It seems like stiff arm, offensive player, say Derrick Henry, 50 yards down the field, huge stiff arm into the defensive player, defensive back, face mask. Seems like that might not get called. How does that work?
As long as he uses it with open hands, we're good. If he grabs onto the face mask, then we got issues. And that's one of the hardest calls to make, is trying to see the fingers inside the face mask. So he can put his hands on his helmet, he can put his hands on his face mask, he can put his hands on his shoulder, stiff arm him away, but he can't literally take his helmet and turn it. And that's another thing too. These helmets, these guys, when I played, you had to strap it up. I mean, you had to you couldn't put your helmet on without undoing your chin strap. These guys are wearing it like baseball caps. They just put it on, and they're falling off, tackles, you see the helmet go rolling off, and it's like, how'd that happen? And sure enough, when you go back and look, you just hit the ground and the helmet's gone. So,
Have you ever shown up without some of your equipment?
what's that?
You ever shown up without some of your dress equipment?
No.
The reason I asked that question, we had a guy one time that showed up without his socks, so he painted his legs black and used white tape for the stripes. He was a pretty good official.
Well, I'm gonna make a note of that, so if that happens. If you ever think about it, we overpack, or we overcheck, because I'll go through there and make sure I've got my pants, the shirts, and we have somebody on the crew always brings 2 extra something. So they have an extra shirt, a pair of pants, so that's great.
What is the conversation like in the field between the opposing teams along the line? Do you hear much there?
You mean the trenches?
Yeah.
Yes, it's not for this
Not Sunday school
audience.
language.
It is not for this audience, but it's not that bad. You do have some funny stuff that are, but at the end of the day, you'll see them. They'll help each other out and pat them. But in the beginning, they get try to intimidate a little bit. We always try to tell them, hey, unsportsmanlike conduct is a big foul. So, yes, sir.
Whatever happened to the forearm? Do y'all call that anymore?
Yeah, we do. It's called unnecessary roughness, and that's basically what it is. Like if I throw a forearm, if I pick somebody up and slam them, stuff like that. We do call it. We're not missing. So when you sit there and watch it this weekend, Riley told me they called that. I don't know what that. He was probably looking somewhere else. He was making sure the face mask wasn't grabbed or something. So, but yeah.
Have you ever called the famous Ron Cherry foul for giving him the business?
That is no. But that's very famous.
Yes.
And Ron's real popular in Clemson too. And he's a great guy. In fact, I think a lot of Ron. Ron is now an observer. He will come to my games and kind of take notes and say, hey, afterwards, say, think about doing this next time. So he's been good for the game. He's been around a long time. Yes, sir.
You mentioned on replays that it's not in slow-mo when y'all are reviewing it. And the booth is also looking at the full speed. They're not doing it in slow-mo.
You mean the pass, catch, no catch?
Any reviews or anything like that?
Pass, just catch, no catch.
Okay.
We watch that in real speed.
So other things, like if the knee's down?
Knees down, slow motion. Okay. Knees down, ball breaking the plane, like that play where the guy reached Now, I know you've probably seen that play 100 times this week, and you thought, that ball skipped, it skipped it, right? But until you slow it down and see the tip break the glass before the ball hits, I mean, it's like that.
There's no way to see that.
No. He made a call. And that's what we do. We make a call, and the old cliche is if you're in position, looking at what you're supposed to be looking at, 90% of the time you'll get it right. But when you're out of position, somebody speaking, a defensive back or something, you're out of position, you can't see a straight line, that's where you get beat. So.
When you have a call to overturn, do you agree with it or disagree?
Oh, no. See, that's a great question, because sometimes you make a call and you tell replay on your 0-2-0, take a look at this, slow it down. It's called a hot play. And if you ever see us working a game and we get the ball and there's a hot play at the goal line or at the sideline, we slow it down. We'll get the ball, maybe throw it to the center judge will throw it over to the umpire, and we'll work the ball in. Then the offense knows that they just got away with something, they're running to the line, let's snap it. And we're slow, and about the time the buzzer goes off, we put it under review.
If the replay is taking excessively long,
2 minutes,
okay,
that's it.
if it goes a full 2 minutes, in your opinion, is it most likely to stand or
Yes.
be overturned?
Yeah. If you can't figure it out in 2 minutes, it's going to stand. Because they were getting into a situation last year where replays were taking 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you don't want to watch it. Nobody wants to watch that. I mean, our thing in the ACC is 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes. You got Greensboro looking at it. You got your replay looking at it. You know, I'm looking at the Jumbotron. If I see something, I'll mention it. But 2 minutes. And then after that, if you don't have any indisputable video evidence to overturn your ruling, you got to let it stand. I would like for us to get away from, after further review, the ruling on the field stands, or after further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. I'd like to get away from that. I'd like to just have stands instead of confirms. Because when you say that, you'll say, well, the reason they're not confirming it is because they didn't have enough video. Then they may find video later. So if you just stay with that one stand.
Hey, Riley, we sure appreciate you coming.
Absolutely.
We've been looking.
Stay healthy.
All right, we're going to go out of order again. Right now, we're going to let Coach Frazier do his Players of the Week, Coach of the Week, and Jokes of the Week. And another introduction, Coach Jim Frazier.
We have a special guest at the club today, Coach Easton, Becky Easton, recently won her 300th game. If you add Bush's record and mine together, all the years we coached, it's like double. So she has the Jackets of the gaudy 29-2 record, and they're ranked #1 in 5A. Last week, stand up please, Becky, let me introduce you. Last week they dispatched Blythewood on Tuesday and Nations Forward on Thursday. And Hannah has the honor of playing the Upper State Championship either against Norman or Man on Tuesday afternoon. So Becky, good luck to you, and thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you. I just want to say that Coach Frazier comes to a lot of our matches, and this past week he played the national anthem on his harmonica, and it was amazing. And so he's going to do it again this Tuesday. So you guys look out for that on it's live on our feed, and then also the alma mater he played last night. So definitely the girls love him, we all do. So thank you for being a part of our program.
Becky has a lot of, for some reason, Becky has a lot of guys that come up for her team. All right, let's get to our JV joke of the week. This guy says to his wife, why are you packing? Where are you going? She said, I'm going to Las Vegas. I'm going to make a living as a prostitute. You can make up to $500 a day. 20 minutes later, She said, now where you going? You packing also? He said, I'm going to Las Vegas also. I want to see how you can live on $500 a year. So the guy goes in the bar, George, we're back at the bar. And he says, bartender says, I got a singing frog. Will you give me a round of drinks if this frog will sing? Sure. So the frog sang Folks from Prison Blues better than Johnny Cash. He sang Ave Maria better than Enrico Caruso. He sang My Way better than Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley. He was just a wonderful singer. He sang Bo Diddley better than James Brown, George. So the guy paid him the money and got the drink. And I got into the bar, says, that frog for sale? He said, yeah, I'll sell this frog. What do you take for it? I take $1,000. So they consummated the deal. The bartender says, you are really dumb. So you sold $1 million frog for $1,000. Guy says, that frog can't sing. It's the hamster. He's a ventriloquist. All right, so our players of the week, we've got co-offensive players of the week. Our first one is from, hold on just a second. As I told you, I'm not amphibious, but I'm ambidextrous. All right, we got Jayden. He's from Palmetto. He's 6'1", 185-pound senior. Jalal plays receiver. He has 5 catches for 196 yards and a touchdown in Palmetto's 55-26 win over Carolina. So get up there, Jalal. With Jalal, he has head coach Doug Shaw. Also offensively, Thomas Williams. Thomas plays both ways, 6'1", 165-pound sophomore. He's a receiver, a running back, a defensive back. Plays for Powdersville, caught 12 balls for 126 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also had 3 receptions for 29 yards. He also had 7 defensive, he played it on 7 defensive series, had 3 tackles, a 60-yard pick six from the defensive back position. As Powdersville beat Southside 57-32. With Thomas, we have his mom, Teresa Fruster, and we have his grandmom, Maddie Hopkins. Would y'all stand up, please? We also have his position coach, Dean McCombs. Okay, that takes care of Thomas, right? Okay. Our offensive lineman comes from Westside High School. This guy's 6'6" tall, weighs 260 pounds. He's a senior. His name is Jayden Ramsey. Plays left tackle for Westside. Jalal graded out at 96% with 4 knockdown blocks as the Rams beat Pickens 56-6. Jalal has with him his mother, Jennifer Ramsey, and his position coach, James Wilson. And if you looking at Jalal and say, God, that guy should play college football, well, he will. He sifted through 20 offers, and he's ended up on a full scholarship at Appalachian State. He's going to be a mountaineer, Jayden Ramsey. We've got a defensive player from Crescent, Kamrun Jalal. He's 6 feet, 175-pound sophomore. Plays defensive end. He has 4 tackles, 2 assists, 1 tackle for loss, 3 sacks, and 3 quarterback hurries. He also graded out at 91% as Crescent beat Southside 40-8, I think, over Liberty. I'm sorry. Hey, with the Jalal, we've got his coach Sheldon Evans. Our defensive player comes from Wren. This guy's a real player, according to Jeff Tate, and I think Jeff knows a little bit about players. He's 6 feet 1 inches tall, 2 inches tall, 180 pounds, and he's a junior. He plays cornerback at Wren. He had 7 tackles, 4 pass breakups, had 1 interception, a kickoff return for 69 yards and a touchdown. Wren beat Pendleton 56-31. Jeff says all the major colleges and many others are standing in line to get this guy to go play with them. Maybe I should have said Southern Conference schools. He's shifting through offers from Wofford. I think your brother plays at Wofford, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My son played at Wofford. Go Terriers. He, from Wofford, from Charlotte, used to be UNC Charlotte, from Mercer, and from many Southern Conference schools. And if you saw the state championship game, this guy's the real deal, as all those Wren Hurricanes are, as is everybody in this room. We have head coach Jeff Tate, and we've got his parents with him today, and his parents are Nori and Tony. Stand up, please, Nori and Tony. Okay, our coach of the week, Robert Mustar. Robert is the first coach and the only coach at Powdersville High School. They've been around for 10 years, only 9 as varsity teams. He coached and played at Wren High School. And Robert has the Patriots averaging an incredible 52 points a year this season. So let's hear it for Robert Mustar. We've got some real doozies coming up. I'm glad the volleyball didn't play tonight, Becky. I might have to not be there. And the people would really miss me playing that national anthem, I know. Hannah entertains Westside in the battle of the rights for the city. The Hannah Stadium will only let 1,000 people in, and I think it's already jammed up in case you're thinking about going. Here's another backyard ball. Palmetto is entertaining Wren, both schools in the same district, and that should be a wing dinger. Pickens is supposed to go to Pendleton, but Pendleton did not pay the light bill, and they don't have any power at the school tonight. So that game's going to be more Wayne or?
We'll know at 2 o'clock today. Don't know yet.
Oh, don't know yet, okay.
We'll know at 2 today.
Oh, no, okay. BHP goes to Seneca, and that's on Monday. And Powdersville goes to JL Man. So thanks for coming, and have a great game tonight, guys. Hey, I left out Crescent, thanks. Crescent got an unenviable task of going to perennial power Abbeville. Abbeville is 5-0 and has not allowed a point during region play this year. So Should be a great games tonight. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, you guys, and good job as usual, Coach. All right, now for the Gary Harper Memorial Pick'em Contest, Mr. Kevin Selman. Apparently not.
I'm so used to having that thing on, I forgot I had it on. Good afternoon. Week 5, we had 27 pick'em players. The last man standing game of the week was Michigan at Minnesota. 16 out of 27 got it right. I told you last week I'd have the standings. We might even have a winner by now, but I don't. But I promise next week I will. And I'll have some yearly standings as well. The upsets, according to the pick sheet, were Indiana over Penn State, Purdue over Iowa, Wake Forest over Virginia Tech, and Missouri over Kentucky. There were a couple of interesting picks. High school picks, 19 out of 27 got every one of the high school games right. We had 3 unanimous picks. All 27 of us picked Virginia Tech to beat Wake. All 27 of us got it wrong. All 27 picked Westside to beat Pickens. Everybody got it right. And all 27 picked Wren to beat Pendleton. All 27 got it right. The breakdown, we had 8 players at 15-5, which is our most common record. We had 5 at 14-6, 7 at 13-7. And for our loser of the week, at 10-10, and the recipient of this custom-made porcelain turlet, compliments of Cobb Oxford and Oxford Farms. What are you doing? I'm kidding. Barry Drazen. I believe that's his third toilet of the year. If he wins it again, I think we're gonna pass it on to the next person. 3's enough. 3's enough. Yes. And our winner of the week at 16-4. 16-4. The only person in the club goes 16-4 is our president, Mr. Chris Sullivan. And unfortunately, Chris couldn't be here, so I'll keep it in my wallet and keep it warm for him for next week. So that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, we want to thank all our sponsors again. We couldn't do this without them. Granger Nissan, Dillard Sports, Dillard's Trophy, Ryobi, Harris Flooring, Ralph Hayes Toyota, Palmetto Insurance, Blake and Brady Boutique, Bill Brissy, the printer, and Cobb Oxford. I want to thank Greg Wilson again for what he does for us. And we're going to give this coin to our winner from last week, too. Give that to Chris. Give that to Chris, too. That's the ACC coin from Riley Johnson. All right, next week we were supposed to have Tim Beret, but he has found out he's going to be able to go up to South Bend, so he won't be with us next week. So I had to fall back to an old farmer from up in Pendleton. Danny Ford will be with us. All right, everybody have a great weekend.